Those who say, and my callers will have said this, Mr. Shapps, you might not be surprised, why doesn't the government step in? Why don't they take control so they can get these people home? What would you say?
Look, I mean, the government's not in the business of running travel operators, and in the end, what we judged, and it's a judgment call, but I think a pretty clear one in this case, is that if we did try to step in, it would only be a few weeks away from having to do exactly this anyway, because in the end, the private investors, the bondholders, all the rest of them couldn't come together with a deal, so it just was not going to work, and that's why we took the decision. I asked the CAA to start organising aircraft to get them in the right places, and we've got 45 aircraft now operational around the world to bring people home on or as close to their departure date from the holidays as possible.
Operation Matterhorn will be, I think, the biggest of its size ever seen in peacetime. Can you get, not you personally, can the CAA get everyone back, even those who've only bought flights with Thomas Cook?
So the situation is that anyone who buys an ATOL-protected holiday would automatically have been covered. However, because Thomas Cook had somewhat sort of tried different things out, they were selling just flights on occasion.
Can we say irresponsibly?
Look, I think they were trying to find things that would work, going back to our original conversation, might work in the modern era. In any case, about 40% of passengers are not ATOL protected. I took the decision we need to get people back home because otherwise they won't be able to go back to work, families and so on and so forth. So I took the decision we would cover everybody coming back, just as we did with the Monarch collapse, and that is what's now underway in the biggest peacetime repatriation, about 150,000 people.
Because you won't be surprised, lastly, Mr. Secretary, I've taken calls in from one person in Turkey, from somewhere elsewhere. They haven't got ATOL protection. They, exactly as you said, they've bought flights in good faith. They understand that they're possibly at the back of the queue as regards the CAA, but you pledge you will get everyone back.
Yeah, that's not so. They can find all the information they need at thomascook.caa.co.uk. They're not at the back of the queue. We will get them home, and we'll try and get them home on the day they're supposed to have come home in the first place. It may be, in some cases, that people have to come back home to the wrong airport, and then we will provide transport on the ground to get them back to the airport that they flew out from. So we will do everything possible. We've got hundreds of people out on the ground. We've got these 45 aircraft. It's not going to be plain sailing, but we will do our very best to get them home.
Lastly, you may have heard a previous caller, and he's not alone in suggesting this is the price of Brexit. Transport Secretary.
Well, it's just nothing whatsoever to do with it. I mean, the hot summer last year, the failure to switch to a newer model which doesn't have hundreds of high street shops, and possibly some of the management within the company. Who knows? Yes, you can blame everything you like on Brexit, but this company was in trouble years before the country even voted to leave the EU. So I just don't see where the connection is.